Yo, what's going on, guys? Fortune Mention. Welcome to another video, a new video after a while. And I'm really sorry that I haven't been consistent. I'll try to be consistent with dropping videos every week, starting from next week. And yeah, today I'm going to be explaining how we took the trade from the first presented FVG going into the buy side liquidity and also taking some partials just right there. Now let's get to the breakdown. Let's start on the 15-minute. Going into the 15-minute, what we see is that we had a really large opening gap here, a new week opening gap, and I've been wanting to see if price can reprice into it. Now, what we had left yesterday, creating this previous day high, it was just close to this high right there, forming relative equal highs, of which can be a really good liquidity that price can grab later. Now, starting on a day, price the midnight open here, price has just been trading lower below the midnight open, and we know if you are bullish, we want to buy below the midnight open to go to a certain point of liquidity. So in this case, we had relative equal highs, and we wanted to see if price can potentially lead or go into the current new week opening gap. So what we had was to see price trade below the midnight open, taking out relative equal lows and reacting inside a high time frame PD array, of which being the 4-hour BC. Now after we see price react on the 4-hour BC, we see now price have a beautiful impulsive movement going higher and leaving this 15-minute FVG. So now going into the 9:30, the market open, I wanted to see if price now can lead people to the wrong side by going inside this M15 FVG, then lead people to thinking this should continue lower, potentially taking out the lows here. On the 1 minute, this should look like relative equal lows. So that's really what happened. That's what I was planning for the day. I wanted to see if price now can lead people to the wrong side at the 9:30 open. Then we continue higher, going to the buy side, taking out these relative equal highs there and going into the current new week opening gap. Now let's go to the 1 minute to explain this more further. Before we go further to explaining what we have on the 1 minute, I just want to add that starting on a day, you have to remember that we are going to anticipate the power of the reforming. So in this case, we had our midnight open and we saw price now take out the relative equal lows. So this is our manipulation of the day. So what I wanted to see was just the continuation going to the buy side, forming that power of 3. So basically this is our accumulation just right there, manipulating, taking out the relative equal lows into a high time frame PD array to then catch the continuation higher, taking out the buy side liquidity that we have there. Now let's go to the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute and this is what we had. So also the relative equal lows that I was talking about, they look good here. One could think price should continue lower into the relative equal lows, but using the logic that ICT has taught us, we know that 9:30 could also form a manipulation. So what I wanted to see was price trading into the M15 FVG. So during the 9:30 open, price opened lower, going inside the M15 FVG and created this SMT with ES, which made me confident that price should really continue higher. As you can see here, we had this low taken out on NQ, and on ES this low was not taken out. So this confirms that price could potentially reach more higher. So in this case, what we had is a reaction inside the M15 FVG and price traded higher. And what do we have here? We have this low. If you zoom in, we have this low, this significant high, and also this low. But now we broke this high right there, which forms a market structure shift in a way. So in this case, this is a market structure shift, and also this is a breaker. And in that case, this gives you more confidence that price should really continue higher. But in this case, what I had to do was entering after we close above the first presented FVG, as you can see just right there. When this candle closed above the first presented FVG, I had my trade. Why? Reason being that we had an SMT forming with ES, and that gave me more reasons why price should go higher. We had reacted inside the M15 FVG just right there. We had an SMT with ES, and once we disrespect the first presented FVG, once again, I wanted to see price just continue higher from there. I didn't see a reason for it to continue lower because that would be an opportunity to ruin the SMT with ES also. So I just wanted to see price continue higher from there. And when I had my trade just after the first presented FVG, we had a really nice reaction above the new day opening gap that formed on the 19th of December last year. I still have it on my chart. Traded higher from there. I wanted to see this act as a supporting level. So in this case, we saw price close above the high of the new day opening gap. Now back into it, reacting on the high of the new day opening gap, then continuing higher inside the first presented FVG that formed on the 20th of January, just yesterday. Yeah. So this is where I had a partial because that's where we could see price react or a reversal at some point because anything can really happen. So in this case, I had my stop at break even and took a partial just right there in case anything happens. And we saw price now continue higher, closing above the first presented FVG that formed yesterday and had a nice reaction on the midpoint of the first presented FVG. And just right there, we saw a continuation higher, leaving this consecutive down close candles, of which now form an order block. Wanted to see a reaction of them. We had a beautiful reaction on them going higher into the buy side liquidity and reaching to the current new week opening gap. And yeah, that's definitely what I had for you today. That's only what I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can ask me any questions down on the comments and I'll reply. I'll make sure to reply. Thank you for watching this video if you made it this far. Peace out.